Welcome back, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Today, let's take a deep dive into the 1964 Washington quarter, a truly special and historical coin. This quarter is significant not only because it was the last U.S. quarter made of 90% silver, but also because it marks the end of an era before the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel composition. If you have a 1964 quarter in your collection, you might be wondering, what is it worth? How can you identify valuable versions and how can you sell one well? Today, we'll cover everything you need to know about the 1964 Washington quarter, including its history, design, value, errors, and selling tips. History of the 1964 Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Initially intended to be a one-year commemorative coin, the design was so popular that it became the standard U.S. quarter design, replacing the earlier standing Liberty quarter. From 1932 to 1964, Washington quarters were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, making them valuable not only as collectibles but also for their silver content. However, in the early 1960s, silver prices started rising, and people began hoarding silver coins, causing a nationwide coin shortage. To address this, the U.S. Mint decided to remove silver from circulating quarters starting in 1965, replacing it with a copper-nickel clad composition. This makes the 1964 Washington quarter the final 90% silver quarter ever produced for circulation, making it highly desirable among collectors and silver investors. Design of the 1964 Washington quarter. Now, let's break down the design of this classic coin. Obverse front. The obverse features a right-facing portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan in 1932. The design was based on a bust of Washington created by Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1785. The obverse includes the following inscriptions. Liberty, positioned above Washington's head. In God We Trust, inscribed to the left of Washington's chin. The date 1964, found at the bottom of the coin. Some 1964 quarters were struck at the Philadelphia Mint P, while others were minted at the Denver Mint D. The Denver minted coins carry a small D mint mark, located on the reverse beneath the eagle. Reverse back. The reverse of the coin, also designed by John Flanagan, features a majestic bald eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle is clutching a bundle of arrows in its talons, symbolizing strength and military readiness. Beneath the eagle, an olive branch represents peace. The reverse also includes these inscriptions. United States of America, curved along the top edge. E pluribus unum, found just below the country name. Quarter dollar, clearly displayed at the bottom of the coin. Mintage and production of the 1964 quarter. In 1964, the U.S. Mint produced a large number of Washington quarters, since the government knew they would be the last silver quarters and wanted to meet public demand. Here are the mintage numbers. 1964 P Philadelphia Mint, 560,390,585 coins struck. 1964 D Denver Mint, 704,135,528 coins struck. With over 1.26 billion quarters minted in 1964, these coins are not considered rare, but their silver content ensures they always have intrinsic value. Value of the 1964 Washington quarter. Since the 1964 Washington quarter is made of 90% silver, its value fluctuates based on the current silver market price. Silver melt value. Each 1964 quarter contains 0.1808 troy ounces of pure silver. If silver is trading at 25 per ounce, the melt value of the coin is around 0.1808 x 25 equals 4.52. If silver prices rise, the coin becomes even more valuable. Collector value. While circulated 1964 quarters are usually worth 5 to 7 based on silver content, high-grade or uncirculated coins can be worth much more. Circulated common condition, 5, 7. Uncirculated MS63 to MS65, 10, 25. High-grade MS67, 150, 500. Proof versions from collector sets, 20, 50 plus. Rare errors and varieties in the 1964 quarter. Some 1964 quarters have rare errors or varieties that make them much more valuable. Here are some to look out for. Doubled die obverse DDO. Some 1964 quarters show noticeable doubling on Liberty or In God We Trust. These can be worth 50 to 500 plus, depending on the severity of the doubling. Repunched mint mark RPM. Some 1964 D quarters have a repunched D mint mark, adding value. These coins can sell for 20 to 150. Off-center strikes. If the design is misaligned due to a minting error, these can be worth 50 to 500, depending on the percentage of the off-center strike. Struck on wrong planchette. Some rare examples were accidentally struck on planchettes intended for other coins, making them highly valuable. If you believe you have an error coin, it is best to have it authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. How to sell a 1964 Washington quarter. If you have a 1964 quarter and want to sell it, here are some tips. 1. Check silver prices. Since these coins are made of 90% silver, their value depends heavily on silver prices. Always check current silver rates before selling. 2. Identify condition. If your quarter is uncirculated or has an error, it may be worth much more than just its silver value. 3. Sell to a local coin dealer. Many coin shops buy silver quarters based on the current silver market price. 4. Sell online. Websites like eBay, ETSE, or coin collecting forums can help you reach more collectors who might pay a premium. 5. Consider auctions for rare coins. If you have a high-grade or error coin, consider selling it through an auction house or grading service like PCGS or NGC. Final thoughts? The 1964 Washington quarter is a must-have for collectors and silver investors alike. As the last 90% silver quarter, it holds historical significance and always retains value due to its silver content. If you have one, check its condition, mint mark, and any possible errors. You might have a hidden treasure in your collection. That wraps up today's deep dive into the 1964 Washington quarter. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin collecting insights. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.